Here's how I made 22% on this one gold trade, alright, with refinement. I'm gonna show you all this in this one video, alright, so make sure to pay attention. And also, if you want to check out the previous video on this gold trade where I was analyzing that price could take something here from this order block, so you could go ahead and check out that video as well. Well, obviously after this one. In this video, I'm just gonna show you guys how I caught a 11x trade on gold on Thursday and Friday. Well, it was a runner. I let it run until the next day because that's where my TP level was. All right, so if you want to see this analysis that you see right here on the chart right now, I do have a video that I did, and I think it was Saturday. All right, so I did an analysis on gold, and I said if it swept sell side or buy side first, whichever one, we're just gonna look to go into the opposite direction. So we had a 4-hour OB, a 4-hour liquidity area here. We have the daily resting below, so we had to be careful. But this is why when you refine your trade, it makes more sense. All right, so let me just move forward. I want to keep this video short. All right, so as you can see, your price penetrated the alert set here. The alert went off. All right, and I went to the 1 minute time frame. By the way, this was during New York session, so that's great because that's during my session. That's when I'm really up and ready. All right, so all I was waiting for here on the 1 minute time frame was a market structure to shift after liquidity was taken, more liquidity. All right, so let's play along. Right here you can see liquidity is being taken. So at this point, I just needed price. Okay, so all I needed was price to break above this high here. This is a very strong high. This high cleared this low, right? Plus collecting momentum, so collecting liquidity to push above the previous high. All right, so this high was a strong high, taking out the lows with aggressive movement downwards, leaving even displacement. All those good stuff. All right, by the way, I also did a video on identifying the best order blocks. All right, you could also check out that video as well. So at this point, all I was waiting for now is a point of interest, which when I'm doing on the 1 minute time frame, I always go for fair value gaps. So that's one there, and this is the other one. So usually I like to go for the two that's at the bottom. All right, but unfortunately this first one was already mitigated, as you can see here, before changing the market structure. All right, so what that left me with was to go with this one here. So I just went to the top right there. All right, and I was risking 15 pips. And at this point, oh man, this is kind of gonna mess it up, but because we're in bar replay mode. But at this point, I went to the hour. All right, and I was looking for a fair value gap on the hourly and an order block as well. All right, so I identified this fair value gap here, identify liquidity that's resting below. I know that it's eventually gonna get there because there's liquidity below it, so that's also that's helping me to identify that this area here is valid. As a matter of fact, we probably could look for sales in this upcoming week. So let me just mark this up as a potential sell area. I also have one above, but this is from if I'm correct, I think this is from the 30-minute time frame. All right, so that's also an area to look out for. But you have to remember, we always wait for confirmation. As you can see here, this is our confirmation. We don't just aggressively set limit orders there. We just wait for that confirmation. All right, and this is the confirmation. Price went even deeper inside of this order block. All right, and then yeah, stretch this all the way up to right to the fair value gap exactly. All right, which was 1917. And I'm sorry, I said in the beginning that I collected a 11x. That's because I was taking partials along the way, so it was actually 15 to 1 RR, but after after I was collecting partials along the way, you know, it's gonna bring down the real amount that you would have made if you just left it to run. But yeah, we weren't doing all of that. All right, realistically. All right, so what happened next is after that price went back down into that last fair value gap right here, this teeny one. We even could have refined this even more, but you never know, so we just went with the top one. It's not like it was big as this, it was small, so we just went with the very top of the fair value gap with a bit of room because you already know spreads. All right, so at this point this was fully mitigated, so I got rid of that, and then I started taking partials at this high here. So once it started to break back out of this 4-hour OB, and then at this low here, because this is a nice fair value gap, so it's pretty much dangerous. So to be honest, at this point here, this is when I moved my stop loss to break even. I think it was before the day ended. So as you can see, we went into a little bit of drawdown, fully mitigating this fair value gap right there. But your point of interest could be anything. It could have been the OB, the 1 minute OB there. It could have been from the whoops. It could have been from the Fibonacci retracement here. As you can see, retrace very well. If you want the settings for that, I also have a YouTube video on that. Alright, so feel free to check out the channel. We don't have much YouTube videos up as yet, but I'm pretty sure all of them are gems. Alright, so we got a very nice push up. At this point, I already told myself the only other area that was worrisome was this fair value gap here. But as you can see, by the time after 10 came, it really went ballistic. So I took some partials here. So that would have been my TP1, and my TP1 was basically a whole 1 to 4 to 1, basically almost 5 to 1, just like that, right? And my TP2 was a 10 to 1, and then as you know, the rest 15 to 1 is the full. But I'm taking partials along the way, so as you can see here, I'm telling you, this was a lovely day. All right, so this is how I'll be using my higher time frame bias and then going down to the smaller time frame, just to confirm that the order block is also valid. There's another way you could do it where you could just enter it aggressively. That's why I said I have videos on that on the YouTube channel. All right, I think it's called the correct way to use an order block, or to identify order block, right? So at this point, I said before, my stop loss was moved to break even. I already took 2 sets of profits. This was really quick. As you can see here, my trading hours ends at 11 a.m. around this time right here. So at that point, I just left the trade to run. I had my alerts set it up, by the way. All right, and just not to waste your time, to be honest, at this point, eventually price started to pull back a bit. But I said before, I had that fair value gap here at the entry, which I knew it could have been some protection even if price came back down. But I went to the 1 hour and I identified even more liquidity area. So I'm like, okay, that's magnetic right there. It should pull price above, and it have reasons to go above these liquidity areas, to take these liquidity, because there are points of interest there. All right, so I let it run. As you can see, it came right back. I wonder where it came right back, more likely to a fair value gap. So technically it came right back to the break here, right there. As you can see, penetrated it a bit. There's probably an order block there as well. Yep, there is. All right, so let's go back to the hourly, and as you can see, oops, I went, yep, and as you can see, price hit our full take profit. And this was also during New York session as well. As you can see, 8 a.m, 9, 10, 11, and it went ballistic right there. All right, and then from here, I'll go to the 1 minute time frame. To be honest, when I'm doing higher time frames, I rather use the order blocks as my real points of interest, and then I'll use like FVGs as like take profit areas, as you can see here. So I use a 4-hour order block. I went to the 1 minute time frame, look for that refinement. That way, instead of I'm risking like 100 pips, I'm now risking 15. Big difference. You know what I'm saying? To make a whole lot, to benefit a whole lot. All right. So at this point, as you can see, price stopped there. Up here went even higher, but there is no significant low. The low would have been this one right here. This would have been the significant low that created this whole entire move. I could explain this even more probably in future YouTube videos. All right, so now this came down, so none of these lows that was taken out, this is not a valid break. I said before I could explain that in another video. I also have this in a course, to be honest, but I might just explain it briefly in another YouTube video. All right, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment below, you know. So as I can see here, boom. So now this, let's see, so this was Friday. All right, so as you can see here, complete equal highs, liquidity taken. So this is definitely my low right here. All right, so as you can see, price even went even deeper inside of the fair value gap, right to the halfway point, right to spot. I love it, to be honest. I love to get it there. All right, and then as you can see, price still hasn't taken this low, so now we're gonna move it to here. All right, because price is still taking these highs. And I said before, regardless, because it's a higher time frame, I would rather price to get to this order block before I start looking for all these market structure shifting and all those good stuff. You could also do it on the 5-minute time frame. All right, it's all up to you. Like if you go from the 4-hour and then you drop it to the 5-minute, I'm gonna show you guys all of those in upcoming videos. So I said before, make sure to stay tuned. All right, so yeah, this is still all right. So that's the low that we want to break. All right, so as you can see, price continued. It almost went there at this point. Yeah, this was way beyond my time. So to be honest, from even before, from 11, I stopped really looking, but I was watching it just to see what could happen, at least to get an idea of what to look for in this upcoming week. All right, so I'm still gonna be looking for price to go even further up, just to penetrate. Now that I look at it, it even has a better order block right here on the 30-minute time frame. All right, so just for a little secret gem of mine, I love to use the 30-minute order blocks and the 4-hour, stuff like those. Yeah, and then I just wait for that 1-minute market structure shift. Oh yeah, this one was a very great trade right here. All right, so I just have a question for you guys. If you want me to analyze your favorite pair, just leave a comment down below. All right, and it's the weekend right now. Today is Saturday, so if I could get some comments below before Sunday, I could, like, you know, add your peers in tomorrow's video, because I'm probably gonna do another analysis on this. I was just showing you guys how I took this nice trade. I made 11x profit. All right, for this trade I was risking 2%. All right, so I made 22% on this one trade. I said before I was taking partials. It could have been more, but I'm gonna be realistic. A lot of people, they don't just let it run. All right, because you just never know what price is going to do next, especially when it comes to gold. But yeah, this was a very nice and patiently waited trade, because this, I said before, I did the analysis on this. I do have the YouTube video on the channel. I analyzed this. I said if it swept sell side, we're gonna look for this OB here, price to come down. If it sweeps sorry, that was buy side. If it sweeps sell side, we're gonna be looking at this 4-hour order block right here, and as you can see, price did exactly what it needed to do on the 1 minute time frame. It could have used the 5 minute, but more likely you wouldn't have gotten that excited entry right there. As you can see here, the order block is way down here. It didn't even come back there, at least not yet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, another fantastic trade. I think I'll probably be rambling right now. So I said before, if you want me to analyze your favorite pair, you could always leave a comment on that. It could be this week, next week, doesn't matter. Just leave your comments, ask your questions, and I will be making videos towards those. You could always also join the free signals group. Link is in the bio. I'm gonna leave it in the comments as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Okay, peace.